If I could get you to respond, former Republican Senator Paula Dockery actually published an op-ed in opposition today in Florida Voices. Her quote was, "This thinly veiled attempt to enrich private charter corporations in the name of empowering parents will do nothing positive to benefit our students." Would you like to respond to that?
I absolutely disagree. This is not a movement to go to charter. In fact, we have a pretty robust charter atmosphere in the state of Florida. Schools can be charter schools now in a much easier method than coming in through this process of trying to get the parents involved.
In the wake of Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll resigning and everything, do you plan on recusing yourself from future charter school votes, considering your brother-in-law's position with Academica Corporation?
I don't. I've gotten clear indication from council that there's nothing that we do in the state that benefits any one company when it comes to charter schools.
I want to talk about the corporate issue. I assume that's the code word for charter schools. Well, if it is, members, senators, you're going to have a chance in a couple of days when you vote on the budget just to raise your hand about whether you like charter schools or not. Because there's $91 million in the budget for PICO for charter schools. Now, are you going to say no to that? Are you going to vote against the budget?
Tell me what the right percents are, but we've done better. We're doing better, and so why would we just stop at that? Why wouldn't we say, let's keep going and let's give parents some more choices? So what are these?
I was wondering if you support for-profit management companies for charter schools to be based overseas by foreign nationals receiving money for charter schools.
I would prefer the charter schools to be a local charter school and a company that's from the United States. Correct.
Okay, so do you plan on putting in language that prohibits foreign nationals?
That would not be in this bill. That's not a part of this bill.
Okay.
People keep trying to make this bill about charter schools. This is not a bill about charter schools.
Right.
There are other pieces of legislation.
Once the parents sign the petition, and let's say a public school moves over to a charter school, what are these parents then doing to, be involved in that student's curriculum and make sure that this charter school is providing the best education as opposed to staying in the public school?
It's up to the individual parent. I can't tell you what the parents are doing.
So the empowerment is just to sign the petition, and then once the school is moved over to a charter, then parents really don't have
the parent choice thing and everything. But what happens when those parents are gone? What about the next round of parents? Is there a way to trigger back to the public school system, or are they stuck with the charter school?
Well, in the event that one of four options would be taken, that it would be a charter school, parents would automatically never be stuck with it because that's counterintuitive, meaning nobody is forced to go to a charter school. So if a parent didn't want to go to it, they just wouldn't go to it at that point.
What about the parents who wouldn't support the parent trigger bill, though? Because it's only a 51% needed. What about the other 49% of parents who aren't going to be involved in that decision?
Well, they would be involved in the decision. I guess they would vote against the whatever the decision was, whether it's just basic intervention, whether it's turnaround intervention, whether it's a charter intervention, whatever the intervention would be. And I guess the 49% would either deal with it. If it were to convert to a charter, they could move to another school or go to another neighborhood school, whatever it may be, or essentially stay in the school if that was their choice. I mean, it's almost like asking what happens to the 48% who didn't vote for Obama.
Why are teachers the only public employees that have to hit a performance standard?
What's that?
Why are teachers the only public employees?
They're not. State employees do too.
Why there's so much opposition to this bill? Here's why. Because when we give parents the keys, they're not going to be wedded to a failing strategy. They're not going to be wedded to failing people. If there's a principal, it's only a principal because their buddies or the superintendent or a school board member, they used to coach a football team. Our parents won't be wedded to teachers' unions that seem to be more connected at times than the parents are in the decision making.
So I really support this bill because I think it's a great start. It doesn't really activate anything other than to force people to do a better job in educating our kids.
But what we have here it's an invasion by corporate America. It really is. I mean, I'm a Republican here to give you the business point of view.
But no, this bill, in our opinion, is not about good education policy, and I'm going to step into some stuff that's going to make some folks not comfortable. And it's certainly, in our opinion, not about empowering parents. It's about a catchy phrase, it's a campaign slogan, and let's be honest, it's about the Jeb Bush legacy. This bill is a priority for the Foundation for Florida's Future. We know that Jeb has said the parent trigger bill will pass this year. It's just one more so-called reform that the folks from the foundation want to check off their Florida list.
Ladies and gentlemen in the galleries, this is the Senate of the state of Florida. If I have one more outburst pro or against any bill, I'll clear those galleries. You understand it? Thank you.
And it was disappointing, but those things happen in politics.
And we'll bring it back next year, John?
As I said, I won't probably bring it back here in